Greetings, friends. I'm AK.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
the Chainsaw Girls. On today's episode, we are keeping on the theme of found footage and covering 2009's Paranormal Activity.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about it.
Me too.
Really quickly, before we get into this episode, I want to point out the shirt that I'm wearing and also the bracelet that I have on. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see my Rebel Heart merch you can get on Shop AEW. Proceeds go toward ALS research and supports our girl Rebel, so check it out.
Shall I read IMDb?
Please do.
After moving into a suburban home, a couple becomes increasingly disturbed by a nightly demonic presence.
Correct.
Yes.
I watched this on Paramount Plus.
I did as well.
Okay, it's streaming a lot of places, I think.
I only found it on Paramount.
Okay. Maybe it's not streaming a lot of places. I think you can at least purchase it a lot of places.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. For sure.
Yeah. As you already mentioned, this is found footage.
Yes. It is very DIY labor of love.
And definitely inspired by the Blair Witch Project, which we just covered.
Absolutely. It was written and directed by Oren Peli. I have so many things to say about him. I listened to a great interview on the Post-Mortem podcast with Mick Garris, my favorite podcast ever. There's a great interview with Oren on that. I also read a couple of interviews with him, which everything will be linked in the show notes. But this had a budget of 15. Okay, this is a huge number gap, so I couldn't get an exact number, but anywhere from 15 to 450K. Now, my guess is 15 initially, and then post-production and all of this potentially is what increased the number. But it grossed $194.2 million at the box office. And before we hop in, there are like some things I want to tell you about this film that just like blew my freaking mind.
I really want to hear them. Also, I just wanted to point out with that budget and then what they grossed, I believe Paranormal Activity is considered one of the most profitable movies of all time.
Yes, and I believe they beat out Blair Witch.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So Oren, let's talk about Oren, okay? He was not a filmmaker. He was a video game software like engineer, developer, okay? He moved to the US with his best friend Amir, and he's been afraid of ghosts his entire life. He was terrified of the movie The Exorcist. He couldn't even finish it. So ghosts and hauntings have always really scared him, okay? He couldn't even watch Ghostbusters, like freaked him out.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So he was inspired after watching the Blair Witch Project. He had this idea and decided that he wanted to make a movie. He saw the Blair Witch Project and was like, oh, I could actually probably do this. He also was inspired by the movie Ghost Watch, which if you haven't seen, it is a mockumentary by the BBC, or it was on the BBC. It's great. Came out in I think like 91 or 92. Really fun watch. He was also inspired by Rosemary's Baby, at least like the pacing of it, which I saw when I was 9. And my mother denies to this day that she didn't show it to me. She did. She did. Okay. So we came up with this idea of Paranormal Activity when he moved into a home, his very first home. He'd always lived in apartments, moved into a home with his girlfriend. They started hearing like weird sounds in the house. Now, he was used to, because he lived in apartment buildings, he was used to hearing like apartment building noises, right? You hear people coming in with groceries, you hear whatever, other tenants and stuff. When you live in a house, you can attest to this.
Yes.
It sounds different. It's quieter. You notice things, you notice little bangings or whatever. Like the house makes its own noise, right?
Yeah.
And his girlfriend was getting really freaked out by this to the point that she thought the house was haunted. And he was like, well, let's find out. And he set up a video camera in their house so that he could monitor and see if there were actually ghosts in the house. So this was where the concept of Paranormal Activity came from.
So he basically did what happened in the movie.
He basically did. And lo and behold, the house was not haunted. And he doesn't really believe in that stuff anyways.
Okay, so he was Mika.
Kind of was, right? So that was kind of the starting point for Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
But he decided shortly after that, okay, I'm going to make this movie. He had no prior film experience whatsoever, but he taught himself how to do pretty much everything except for the makeup. He said the makeup was the only thing that he kind of struggled with, but he immersed himself in learning about hauntings, possessions, demons, demonology, all of that. He renovated his house. So he took up all the carpets, he replaced them with hardwood floors, he replaced the banisters. He basically made the house look a little more appealing because he knew that he was going to film the movie solely in his house. That'll be the only location, right? Mm-hmm. So he zhuzhed it up a little bit. He says he does not include that in the cost of the budget because he wanted to do renovations in his home anyways.
Okay.
Okay. And he said the importance of having the hardwood floors were for things like when Katie gets dragged out of the bed.
Yeah.
They needed to have hardwood floors for that.
That's wild. That was his house.
That was his house.
That's a big ass house.
That was his first home with his gal.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. So, he also, on the side of working on Paranormal Activity, he had a full-time job, other commitments. So he was doing all of this Paranormal Activity shit, like on the side. Nobody knew about it. He didn't tell anyone except for the people involved. It's kind of like secret about it, right? And his thought process on that is, quote, I figured if nothing happens because the movie turns out horrible or it's good, but nobody does anything with it, at least I did something fun. Plus, a lot of people spend a lot more money on their hobbies and still don't have something cool that could change their lives.
Valid.
Go-getter, right?
Yeah.
But I will go into like more little facts as the movie goes on. But I guess the whole long and short of it is he decided to make a movie and he learned everything he could in about a year's time. And he made the movie.
Hell yeah.
Like he did that with his best friend and his girlfriend. And the only other crew member was he hired a makeup artist because he couldn't do it himself. Everything else were those 3 crew members. Him, his girlfriend, because she lived with him, right? And his best friend, Amir.
Wow.
That was the crew on Paranormal Activity.
That's awesome.
And as we go on, I mean, I have so many fun little tidbits, but like I was just so inspired listening to his interview, like just deep diving on this movie. I was like, this is like just somebody creative who just went, I want to do something and I'm going to figure out how to make that happen. And he did. And my God, was it successful. Holy shit.
To say, I want to do that, I'm going to go do it. And then you do it. And I can only imagine how many people would have been like, well, you don't know what you're doing. Well,
I think it's smart that he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. He learned how to edit. He learned how to light things because he was doing it all himself. So he took the time to be like, oh, that didn't really work or this really worked or like, you know, how to do the special effects without having the budget to be able to do these effects.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very similar to Blair Witch Project. A lot of people thought this movie was real.
Yes.
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 You mentioned to me you were one of them, right?
Oh, 100%. When this came out, I slept with the lights on. I was totally freaked out. It definitely helped that our cast members used their real names. Now, I did see an interview with Katie where she does talk about, and I'll list this in the show notes, but she does talk about how in hindsight, she probably wouldn't have used her real name, but she was a young actor. This was an opportunity and she was like, no problem. And it worked out for her. I mean, she's like a scream queen, right? She's like the face of Paranormal Activity, but she does say, maybe I would have made a different decision, you know, if maybe I was a little bit older at the time and had the forethought to do that. But
that's also very similar to the Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
They use their real names.
Exactly.
But in the Blair Witch Project, we feel like maybe it did affect them in a negative way. And here, maybe just in 8 years time?
Well, they didn't pretend that they were dead.
That helps.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it still worked. I still thought it was real. I was scared, man.
And unlike Blair Witch Project, this movie doesn't have closing credits.
Right.
So
I mean, really, what would you say? The credits, Oren Pelly,
Right.
Amir, like they did everything themselves, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't even mention Mika and Katie. It just thanks their families, right?
Yeah, it's so clever.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Did you already read the IMDb?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, should we jump into the movie then?
Let's do it.
Sometimes when one person is talking, the other one is like reading or researching something really quick. So here we are. So yes, when we start off this movie, there is a title card that tells us that Paramount Pictures would like to thank the families of Mika Sloat and Katie Featherson and the San Diego Police Department. So it feels very documentary style. Now we're going to start to see some random footage from Mika, who was recording on a camcorder around his house. It's September 18th, 2006. We meet his girlfriend, Katie.
Ooh, and I really love that we don't know their names at all. They're in the closed captioning, it's just man and woman. Just really, really quick, we open up on a TV that's playing a music video. Originally, this was a fan-made video by the band Disgorge, and the song was called Consume the Forsaken from their 2002 album. This made the theatrical release, okay? But it was replaced when it was like released on DVD and streaming with a different band because the band Disgorge threatened to sue them because only one band member agreed to have the video in the movie.
Oh.
So they did threaten to sue. So they ended up taking that out and they put like a generic sort of rock band on the screen. So I thought that was kind of interesting and something that you do run into when filmmaking, you need to make sure that, you know,
Yeah,
you get the rights to things.
right. Especially when, something becomes more successful, then all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And like if your music is in a movie and they
Ye-
don't give you the credit or you don't get
Exactly.
the rights for it, that's questionable.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, but it's true when it's such an indie film, you're like, this isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then, my gosh.
Yeah. Can cause some complications.
Mhm.
So we learned through this footage that Mika just bought this camcorder because of the alleged paranormal activity they've been experiencing in the house.
Yes, it kind of started up recently and they're trying to figure out like what if it's real or whatever.
Yeah, they don't know what exactly is happening. Well, we're going to find out that Katie might have an idea, but they, as a collective, kind of don't know what's going on. They want to capture it. So what I really do like about this part of the movie is that it truly does feel natural. Like you really are getting a peek into this couple's life.
100 right from the get-go, it's so authentic. I loved how they revealed their names. It was done in such an organic, natural way. Like they were mic checking, and that's how we figured out he's Mika, she's Katie.
Yep. There's so much footage here, a lot of banter, a lot of building rapport. We talk about building rapport a lot, especially in found footage and like low budget films, but they do a really great job of that.
They seem like they have a good relationship.
They do.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. Yeah.
For now. Katie is an arts and crafts girly. I wrote, hell yeah.
Me too, girl. Me too.
She has a jewelry making station.
So that's like my life. I was just telling you all about the jewelry I make.
She's knitting at one point, and Mika's playing the guitar. And
He plays guitar in real life too.
Okay. And then they hear a weird sound. So they go to investigate, but it's just the ice maker. So stuff like that is going on. Mika's asking her for a strip tease. It's very playful. You know, he wants to use a camera for other things. She's like, no, I'm not into that.
And much like Blair Witch, they use retro scripting. So this is improvised. They do
You
not
can
have,
tell.
they don't have a traditional script for this movie. They're just given instructions and very similar to Blair Witch.
That
And
makes
they-
sense.
Yeah. And they improvise.
It feels so natural.
Mm-hmm.
So now when they start getting ready for bed, Mika sets up a camera in their room. So any hoogly boos, as Laura loves to say, at 2:08 a.m., we're hearing footsteps somewhere in the house. It does a lot of fast forwarding through the footage of them sleeping, and then it'll stop when shit starts happening. So there are footsteps somewhere in the house, but nothing else really happens here.
And every night that something happens, before something happens, we start to hear a very low frequency sort of bass sound.
Yes.
And it teased the audience up for tension and knowing that like something's coming. It's kind of like our Jaws music, right? It's like giving us that, okay, something's about to go down. We don't know what it is, but we're anticipating.
Yeah. It definitely adds that layer of tension for sure. So the next morning, Katie finds her keys lying in the middle of the kitchen floor. Just weird. She says she left them on the counter. And Mika's sarcastic about it. He doesn't really believe a lot of this. He just is curious to see if they capture anything. And he's like, well, clearly this is evidence that evil forces are here. And they just kind of laugh it off. They have breakfast. They go to the pool. This is where I was like, they have a huge house. I want to see a haunted house that's just like a studio apartment. Like you have nowhere else to go. You're just trapped in there with that ghost.
Right?
It would be a less interesting movie. But Katie has a psychic coming over today.
I love the psychic.
Dr. Fredericks. Is that his name?
I think so.
Fredericks?
Oh, in the IMDb, it just lists him as psychic.
Okay. He is a psychic. So this is an older man. He first asks about their lives and their life together once he gets there, which I liked. He straight up says a lot of things that people think are paranormal can be explained away by like a creaky house, things like that.
I think this is why people felt like this was real because number one, the things that happen in the house, to me, when I think of a haunting, that's the kind of shit that I feel like might happen. Lights flickering, thudding, hearing a bang, finding your keys in a weird spot. How many fucking times have you gone to get something, you know you left it there and it is not there, and then you go back and it's there, right? Like I feel like they do a really good job of that. And him saying like, well, let me hear about you guys. Like, what's your situation? Blah, blah, blah. These things usually aren't real. Again, it makes it feel real. You're going, you're right. He's, it usually isn't something spooky.
Yeah, and he didn't come in over the top, like with holy water and just doing like the whole shebang.
Right.
You know?
Yes, exactly. We also find out that Katie is a full-time student. She's an English major and she aspires to be a teacher. And Mika is a day trader.
So Katie's starting to tell him some of her lore. So we're learning a lot about the backstory here. So Katie herself is experiencing paranormal activity. There it is. It started when she was 8. And she says that her and her sister, they slept in the same room as kids. She would hear breathing in the middle of the night. She would wake up and see a shadowy figure. It would always be at the foot of her bed, not her sister's, but her sister did see it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day there was a fire in the house and the fire department couldn't determine the cause and they basically lost everything.
Right.
She also mentions from 13 on, it's happened periodically and now it's starting up again.
And she also makes sure that the psychic knows neither of them are on any medication. They don't have really any mental health issues, anything like that, which I think right off the hop, it's good to establish that.
Yeah. So it's something connected not necessarily to the house, but to her.
Right.
And that's what the psychic tells her.
Mm-hmm.
They've heard banging. They've heard scratches down the wall, whispering, sometimes calling her name. Mika here says, okay, I've heard some weird noises, but not necessarily the whispering.
Yeah.
And Mika he's not really taking it seriously, but he seems more interested in the technology portion.
Yeah. And okay. I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's that he doesn't believe it. I think he wants to believe it. Because as the film goes on, he gets very excited when things happen.
Yeah.
I think he's excited at the idea of them catching something on film. Not that he's doesn't necessarily believe it. Because I think he wants to.
Okay.
He's just more skeptical about it.
He's definitely skeptical.
And he's more playful in general. He's more of a playful kind of person. She's a little more serious about things. And he's a little more yeah, but this could be really cool.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Because he does definitely get excited later and he definitely wants to capture something. And that's it becomes a point of contention. So that's very true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Katie straight up does not want the camera. She says that right off the bat. She is not interested in it. The psychic says an entity may feed off of negative energy. So if there's something negative going on here, it can help it grow.
Mm-hmm.
He also says that his area is ghosts, not demons. And he senses something much more evil there, which would just send me. Send me into orbit.
Oh, dude, yes. He actually gives them a referral to a Dr. Avery's who's a demonologist.
Yes. Mika straight up wants to use a Ouija board, and the psychic is me. He says absolutely the fuck not.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't use those words.
He gets very serious, though.
Yes, he straight up says, this demon might want Katie. So if you use a witch board, you could open the door for it. And I'm like, exactly.
Right, and you're sort of saying to the demon, you're basically saying, yeah, let's have a conversation. Sure.
Come on in.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So when the psychic leaves, Mika, he's just he definitely doesn't believe in him because he calls him a quack or something like that.
Yeah.
Katie's annoyed that she didn't feel like he was very respectful to the psychic.
No, because even before the psychic got there, he played spooky music and he's like, I'm going to play this when the guy comes over. He's just he thinks the guy's a bit of a quack.
Yeah, that's definitely why it seemed to me that he doesn't believe it. But I could totally see okay, he wants it to be real so we can capture it. But he's also just not taking it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple of little things I just wanted to point out here. For the audition process. Now, one thing that I love about this movie is the chemistry between Mika and Katie. It feels so organic. They do feel like they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And unlike a normal sort of audition where you have sides and you have an idea of what's going on. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds here. The audition process was a little bit different. I listened to an interview with Katie on the Happy Horror Time podcast. I'll link it in the show notes. But basically, she said that no sides were provided. She had no idea what she was in for, but she was waiting tables as a young actor. So she went to this audition and she noticed people were walking in and out of the audition very quickly. So when she walked into the theater, there was this big chair and she sat down and Oren asked her right away, nothing else. So why do you think your house is haunted? And that was the start of the audition. And she immediately hopped right into the improv. And she was basically well, because this is happening and this is happening and this is happening. She gets a call back. She does a chemistry with Mika. They sit down and immediately he says, how did you guys first meet? And they are in character within immediately. And I watched it.
Yeah.
You can see it on YouTube. They look like a couple and it happens instantly.
Yeah.
And obviously they did get the roles, but I thought that was really cool.
That's really cool.
And Oren didn't even know how to hold casting. He had to research it because obviously he doesn't have experience with this. And he put in a Craigslist audition.
Oh my gosh.
And the ad gave little to no information outside of no script will be provided at any stage of production. All dialogue will be ad-libbed. Natural ability to improv will be crucial. And that is, I think, why Katie pieced it together pretty quickly. Like, okay, improvisation is going to be huge. And it's very similar to the Blair Witch Project. They had a
Yes.
similar type of casting.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was just about to say that. So now later, they're getting ready for bed. They're joking around. Mika's being horny per usual. You know, he has a camera. He wants to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not want Katie to call Dr. Avery.
No.
So now at night, he tries to leave the camera on while they're about to get freaky. And he tells her the camera's not on. And she's like, I'm not stupid. I know that button means record, which they're doing it in a playful way.
Yeah.
It would be very concerning if he was like, if someone was like lying to their partner about that, but they're definitely like, ah, ha, ha, you know?
Nah, yeah. I think this is all just very like playful.
Sure.
And they,
Sure.
again, they seem like they have a very good relationship until shit hits the fan, which I have theories on, but.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now they fall asleep with the camera set up once again. We're fast forwarding and it stops again at 2:08 a.m.
And this is night 3, September 20th.
Mm-hmm. This time the door slightly moves back and forth. Like it goes open, it goes closed.
Mm-hmm.
Mika's alarm goes off at 6:14 a.m., which I thought was an interesting time. I was like, maybe he has OCD.
Oh, maybe.
I don't
He's
know.
very specific.
But this time Mika does notice the footage. So he shows Katie and they're both just kind of like, wow. Which I know that Katie has dealt with stuff. Like we're going to find out she's dealt with shit when she's younger. She kind of did talk about it.
Yeah.
But I was surprised they weren't more shocked or more scared.
Well, Mika's excited
Yeah.
because he's not really, he doesn't realize that,
It's dangerous.
yeah, like at all. Like to him, this is just like a
But
discovery or something.
Can you imagine if you saw that on your camera?
I would move out immediately.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be so scared.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
But they're just kind of like, oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There are not many jump scares in this movie, but they do things like Mika's filming in another room. Katie screams. He goes over to see what's going on. And like she saw a spider.
Right. And he definitely grabs the camera and like runs after
Yeah.
to make sure that he catches it on camera.
So later that night, Mika is reading a book called
Devils, Demons, and Witchcraft by Ernest and Joanna Lenner. And I bought the book.
I cannot even tell you how excited I was. I meant to look up, was this a real book? And when Laura came over, she just went, look what I have, and showed it to me.
Dude, one of my favorite things about this podcast is I go down the weirdest rabbit holes. My mom was staying with me last week, and she loves Jesus. And I had this book sitting on like the kitchen table right next to the Holy Bible. And she came home and I was like, she like saw it and didn't say anything. And I was like, oh man, she is definitely wondering what the fuck is going on. So I had to tell her about it. And I was like, Mom, I was like, it's just for the podcast. She was like, oh, good, honey. Cause I saw it sitting next to the Bible. And but anyways, it's a really cool book. It's full of like illustrations from like the 1400s, 1500s, and it's all like the names of different demons, devils. Like, I mean, here's a great picture of Baphomet. She hates when I say the names of the demons, but how cool does he look?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a very neat book. Definitely check it out if you can. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Emphasis on the hell. So Mika is thinking that they could benefit if they catch something good on tape.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Katie is not into this idea. She knows that this is dangerous and she doesn't want to make the entity mad.
Well, and he's also talking shit to the demon. Like he goes over to the door and he's like, what are you trying to do? You just trying to show off? Are you trying to tell us something? Like he's antagonizing the demon.
Yeah. And here we learn that Katie never told Mika about this before they moved in together. That was huge.
That was huge for me too. That's a pretty eye-opening conversation here. Mika does also tell her that it probably is a demon because ghosts are spirits of human beings, which he's just repeating what the psychic told them, by the way. But he basically says that he thinks it might be a demon and that demons exist simply to cause pain and commit evil for their own amusement. And they can stalk people for years and years and years. And they're very smart.
And he got this from the book and she's like, yeah, the psychic just said that.
You know, exactly, 100%. But yeah, they've been together for 3 years and she did not tell him any of this at all. And he even says, you could have told me before I moved in. You could have told me on the first date. You could have told me on the 15th date.
Right. Like this actually put me on Mika's side.
100%.
Because he's right. Because yeah, she's like, what was I supposed to do? Tell you on the first date? He's like, no, maybe like before we moved in together. I'm like,
100%.
yeah.
And also, another important thing to note, I can't remember if we mentioned this before, the psychic specifically said the demon or whatever the entity is it thrives on negativity and like chaos, right? And this is causing some tension between them.
Right.
This whole situation. So
Yeah. So now we're on night 5. This is
Mhm.
September 22nd, 2006. The camera stops, well, starts showing us at 2:55 a.m. We're watching them sleep, but that tension is building, like you mentioned earlier. That base is starting to build. Katie jumps up out of nowhere. She had a nightmare. I don't think I've ever had a nightmare where I jumped up like that. Have you?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one. Just the ones where I've startled awake.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I had a nightmare recently, actually. And yeah, I just woke up and I was really upset about it.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. I've woken up like crying before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Mika wakes up to this and Katie tells him that she had a nightmare. And then they hear a loud bang downstairs.
This like freaked me right out, man.
Yeah.
I was super scared here because you hear like a crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mika goes to check it out. He finds nothing. It is during the witching hour. I'm sorry.
I know. Believe me. I know all about it. Traumatized me, man.
The next day.
But again, I feel like it's just the way that they shot this and the slow burn is done so well that you really are questioning like, no, yeah, I mean, that could have happened. Like, yeah, like that might have happened, right? Because it's not in your face.
Right.
And it's just a really good slow burn.
Yeah.
Similar to one of the films he's inspired by, Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, Katie is freaked out, but her friend Amber's over and they're making jewelry. Wholesome. Mika found some audio on the tape that he can't quite decipher.
Yeah, and he even goes up to them and he's like, hey, I want to show you guys this. And there's just this, the interaction between them is like, he gets a little bit snippy with her and she's like, hey, don't be mean. And they have this sort of like, and it's obvious that the tension between them is starting to build and the negativity is starting to build.
Yeah, I did not like that because he said something like, what the fuck? Something about fuck. And I was like, that just escalated. Why are you cussing? So he thinks that he should get the Ouija board. And Katie and Amber are both like, hell no. Even Amber is like, boy, no.
Right. Because you can hear whispering on the audio.
You can hear whispering. You can't quite decipher what it is. Katie makes him promise he won't get a Ouija board. Mika promises he won't buy a Ouija board.
Yeah.
I would break up with him.
Really?
With what's about to happen?
Oh,
yes.
boy.
You already know how I feel. Okay, we'll get there though. He promises he won't buy a Ouija board, okay? I was immediately like, no, bitch. Say you won't get one. Say you won't get one. So it's night 13. It is 3:13 in the morning. There's a weird short noise and it wakes Katie up. Mika eventually wakes up too and sees that Katie is sitting up listening. And after some time, there's just a straight up demon like screech and a loud ass thud.
And there's like there's thumping. Like you hear, it's very subtle.
It was hard for me to even tell what it was. I had to turn it up and then I didn't want to turn it up too much.
Yeah. It's like there's like this little bit of thumping and then it gets really quiet. And then there's like thumping. And it's that thing of where you're sitting there and you're kind of leaning forward. You're like, am I hearing something? And then a huge bang.
Yes. That's exactly why I didn't want to turn it up too much.
So disorienting, man.
So they go downstairs. The chandelier is rocking.
Oh, the chandelier like rocking back and forth in the dark. And the only thing lit is the light from the camera. So spooky.
So creepy. They don't find anything. So they go back to the bedroom. But they still hear that very low thumping. Like there's still something going on.
Yep.
And they wait around, and then eventually they end up back in bed. Like what else are they gonna do, right?
Right.
But I don't even know if I could sleep after that.
I wouldn't be sleeping there after the door opened and closed.
And now, especially them sleeping there with the door open, I'm like, shut the door, lock it. But the next morning, you can tell that Katie did not sleep well. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And she tells Mika she does not want to use the cameras anymore, but he still wants to document everything.
Because she's starting to feel like the cameras are making things worse. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Because this demon wants attention for sure. You know? At
Well,
least that's what I got from it. Like,
no, I think
I
the
don't
same.
think it's pissing it off. I think it loves the camera.
Oh, you're like, he like wants his own show.
I kind of think so. I do, because he's a little showboaty.
Okay. Yeah.
Like once we discover the photo,
Yeah.
he's shrieking loud thumps. I mean,
Yeah.
he wants a show.
He does want attention. Well, now Mika's going to try out his new EVP equipment.
Go for it, bro. Let's do it.
So he takes this microphone into a room. He starts asking questions with it held up. And typically you're not hearing anything back real time. You go and listen to the recording to see
Mhm.
if you picked anything up. And that's what he does here. He only picked up this low grunting.
It's
And
a growl, man.
Oh, a growl.
It's a straight
Okay.
up growl when he asks if he wants him to use a Ouija board. It
Yes.
growls.
Mhm. And he's just like, I don't know. I picked something up here.
I know.
But it's not like clear. It's not like, it's low enough that you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And this is so sad. Like later on, Katie tells him that she doesn't want to go to sleep yet. She wants to watch a movie
Yeah.
because she's just scared to go to bed.
She's scared.
Yeah.
And he's still making her sleep by the door with it open. And I'll never forgive him for it. So Katie wakes up at 1:36 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
gets out of bed,
Mm-hmm.
just faces the bed and just stands there, like on her side, but facing Micah, just stands there for almost 2 hours.
It's like she's in a trance.
Yeah, like, or like she's sleepwalking. No, I guess it is a trance. That makes more sense. And it's fast forwarding that whole time. So you just see it's been almost 2 hours. I would shit my pants if I woke up to that.
Dude.
And then she just walks out of the room.
Yeah, she turns around and she's very kind of robotic, very trance-like, sleepwalking-like.
Yeah. And at some point, Mika realizes this and he goes looking for her.
But there's also like, I know I keep adding these little things,
No, I love it.
but the way that they build up, even Mika getting out of bed, like there's some dead air here. Like
Mhm.
you kind of hear weird sounds and shit, and then all of a sudden it gets really, really quiet.
Mhm.
And then Mika wakes up and then he
Yeah.
grabs the camera. So it's slow, but you're just on the edge of your seat going like, oh my God, okay, she just went downstairs. She's in what is going on? Is he going to wake up?
Yeah.
Like what's going on down there? They just
Yeah.
do it in a way that really makes your imagination go wild.
Yeah, and it almost lulls you into the silence. And
100.
But you're also scared because you're waiting for something to happen.
Very similar to Blair Witch.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it cuts, but it cuts to Mika like going through the house. So there is sound, but it's not a jump scare like you think it's gonna be.
Right, exactly.
So Mika goes to find her. He finds her outside on a swing. She's in shorts and a tank top, and it's freezing outside.
Yeah.
She looks so disassociated.
Oh, she's swinging on that little swing thing, and she's like, I don't want to go inside. I don't want to. No, I'm good outside. Like it's just very odd. And Mika is like, it's I feel like for him, it's this thing of like, okay, she obviously doesn't want to be in the house, and I understand that, and she hasn't slept. Okay, I'm gonna go get you a blanket. At least get you a blanket, right?
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. He said he was gonna go sit out there with her.
Yeah. So it's like, I do understand why he's not totally freaked out by this, but she's not acting like herself at all.
No, and also I understand, especially in a duo, someone has to take the lead. So he's probably holding it together to try to help her in that moment.
Yeah. And she looks very confused.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's going inside, there's a loud bang upstairs in their room.
It's so loud. I jumped.
Yeah, yeah. Mika yells out asking who's there. He goes upstairs. Their TV is playing static. Hate that.
Me too.
He turns around and it's like one of those like box TVs. It probably has a VCR on it.
Right.
He turns around while the camera is zoomed in and he pans around and Katie is standing in the doorway. So it's not like the jump scare you think that's going to happen, but it still feels like a jump scare a little bit, just not like a cheesy one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I also want to say Mika's brave. Like, Mika is brave. He goes up there to see what it is. I would be like, girly girl, we are getting the fuck out of this house. Like, I would
Yeah.
grab Katie and we'd be gone. I think Mika shows a lot of bravery in the movie. He makes a
He's-
lot of poor choices, but I have a hard time judging people in horror movies when it's something like this, because we do tend to explain and rationalize a lot of stuff in real life.
Yes.
So I can kind of understand why Mika doesn't take it as seriously as he should, but
Yeah.
eventually he does.
And how many times is something you think something's going to be so scary, and then if you're actually experiencing it, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad,
Yes.
because you just handle it. Your brain just handles it differently in real life.
I had spooky stuff happen to me when I was in high school, and like, yeah, you rationalize that away. I don't want to believe that. It's terrifying, right?
Yeah. He's either brave or he's stupid. I can't decide which. Maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe.
But she's awake now and she's like, what's going on? She really has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So the next morning, Mika's explaining what happened. She didn't remember any of it. He says, we'll get an exorcist or whatever we need to do.
Yeah,
So now he definitely shows that he believes something is going on.
for sure. Yes.
Later that day, Mika shows the camera that he has. What does he have, Laura? What does he have? A fucking Ouija board.
Oh, the Ouija. Yes.
I was so mad. He sets it up on the table And when Katie comes downstairs, she goes off. And he pulls I said I wasn't going to buy one. I borrowed it. The way I would have been like, get the fuck out of my house, even if it was his house.
Yeah. And it's interesting too because Mika's approach to things, like he's comforting her in the kitchen and he says like, if we get an exorcist in here, it might actually make things worse. And like, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to take care of this. And it's like, on the one hand, I get it. Like he's trying to be like the man of the house and he's trying to take care of his girlfriend and he's trying to, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have to admit when you're in over your head and clearly something is going on in your house, like, don't you want an expert? Why would you pull out a Ouija board? Like that is I've done it. Oh my gosh, I did it in high school so many times. Like my mom came in once and I had salt all around me and weird shit happened with the Ouija board. I don't think I would mess with one now, but I would love the one in this movie because it's old and looks really cool.
It does look cool.
It's a very cool looking Ouija board, but it's weird here because he definitely believes that something's going on.
Yeah. He thinks that the exorcist might make the demon more mad, but not the Ouija board.
Because he thinks that the Ouija board, he thinks that the demon wants to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And what he said earlier stands out to me. He said, maybe we just find out what it wants and we can give it to it. And the psychic's like, yeah, but he wants Katie.
Right.
So maybe that's a bad idea. And Mika's not really, I don't know if it's like he doesn't believe it.
I think he just thinks, okay, we tried recording it. We tried talking to it, the EVP.
Yeah.
Let me try talking to it this way because I still want to see what it has to say.
Yeah.
And
not
then
realizing that the magnitude of it.
Yeah, like maybe he thinks that worst case, the demon will just say, I want Katie, and I'll say no.
Sure.
And then it'll be okay.
Because this is like, again, this is supposed to be happening in real life. There aren't supernatural creatures in real life, right? I mean, maybe there are. I like to think there are. But so again, it's that rationalizing. It's like, oh, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No.
But the wording of the Ouija board really pissed me off because it was very manipulative. I said I wouldn't buy one. I went and borrowed one. Like,
oh, yeah, of course.
That should piss me off.
Yeah.
But
he's just being an ass.
Katie is pissed.
Oh, she's super mad. Yeah.
As she should be.
Yeah.
The camera keeps rolling because Katie walks out. Mika follows her. So the camera's just on the living room. And shit goes down. Okay.
Oh, they go out. It's date night. That's the other reason why she's so pissed.
Yes.
She's like, this is supposed to be date night. We're supposed to go out and have a good time. Why are you bringing the Ouija board out?
Yeah.
And I told you not to get one.
The fact that she was so adamant about not getting one and then he set it up like she was going to come downstairs and be like, oh, you got a Ouija board that I fucking asked you not to get.
And also, I know we're like going back and forth on this, but like her not telling him that she has this, she knows way more than she's telling him, okay?
No, that part's crazy.
And it is bizarre to me that she hasn't said anything to him, and this is all new for him. So I kind of get why he's like approaching it this way. I don't agree with him getting the Ouija board when she said not to. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
I think that was a very, very bad move. And it breaks a lot of trust in her, I think,
Yes.
for sure. But I also I kind of understand why he's going about it without her because she did not tell him anything.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I have to do something about it now. You didn't give me a choice and now I'm in it. I do get that too.
Kind of, yeah.
But not the Ouija board part.
Absolutely
Don't do that.
not. No. Even I know not to mess with the Ouija board now. No way.
But here, the planchette starts moving. It looks like wind is blowing through the house, like blowing the plants.
Yes.
There are footsteps in the background.
Mhm.
And the fucking board sets on fire.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So they get home around 11 p.m. And the next thing we see is Mika showing us the board. So it looks like someone burned a symbol into it. And it's so funny. He's like, it looks like someone drew something on it. I don't know what it is. It's clearly a fucking pentagram.
Yeah, but there's also markings to show
The letters.
The
right?
letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a star in a circle. He's like, I don't know. But he's like, hey, babe, come look. I think they left us a message. And Katie straight up says, I don't give a fuck what that thing said on the Ouija board.
Oh, she's so pissed. She tells him to get the fuck out of the room. Like, she gets really, really upset. And remember, this demon thrives on negative energy and anger and conflict.
Yeah.
No good.
So she makes him get out of the bedroom. Later, he's trying to talk to her at the fridge. She's just ignoring him. And he's like, just tell me what I have to do. And she says, turn off the camera. And he actually does. Now we're cutting to 1:25 in the morning. And Katie is making Mika tell the camera that he swears to abide by Katie's rules and regulations of camera use and to not offend the entity and to not betray Katie's trust.
Yeah.
And then they go to bed.
And then they go to bed. Yes.
So, you know, they're working through their problems.
Oh,
They're
he even asks her before they go to bed. He's like, do you want to know what happened with the Ouija board? Because I watched the tape and she doesn't even want to know.
like right before they're about to fall asleep. I'm like, Mika, this is not the time to bring that up.
No, and the thing is, like, they have to be on the same page to, like, quote unquote fight something like this.
Right.
And but the whole point of a demon, right? Demons cause chaos. And so I think it's also heavily influencing the energy in the air here and causing them to argue more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, just forget about it, go to sleep. He does, thank God. But the next day he does tell her. So he can see that he calls it a cursor, the planchette.
Yeah, he calls it a cruiser, which I
was like,
get.
okay.
Yeah, it's like a mouse. I get it.
Yeah. He said it's moving on camera, but because it was across the room, he couldn't tell what it was saying. So he starts putting together the possibilities of what letters it could have been going to. Katie straight up says she doesn't care what it means, get it out of the house. Like, I would want to at least know what it said if it was said something. Now it's too late.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what it said and then get rid of it. Or like, I think you're not supposed to get rid of Ouija boards, right?
You're not supposed to throw them out. No.
Yeah. Do you have to like burn it? You have to do a ritual, whatever you
There's
got to do.
something you got to do. Maybe drown it.
Yeah. Do whatever you're supposed to do and then get it out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
So now Mika is putting powder all around the floor outside the bedroom.
Oh,
This is his next stunt.
He's got like a plan, and she's kind of saying to him, like, all right, this is your last ditch effort to, you know, do whatever it is you want to do here. And then I'm calling Dr. Avery's. I don't
Right.
care. We're getting the demonologist up in here. And he's like, all right, well, let me just do my plan.
Yeah, this was interesting to me because I thought like, well, I don't think a entity would leave physical prints unless it wanted to. Well, maybe it wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on night 17, October 4th. It's 3:15 in the morning. So here they both wake up.
Mm-hmm.
We see powdered footprints form on their bedroom floor, like walking up to the bed. You see it happen.
Dude, we also hear a low growl as he's coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
And the feet prints look like an animal or something.
Okay, I thought they looked like handprints at first. And then when they got closer, I was like, it kind of looks like bird feet. Like
or yeah,
three-
like webbed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3 toes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They turn on the camcorder light and they can see where it stepped. So now Katie does not want to investigate, and I don't blame her.
Oh, she's so scared when she starts pleading with him. Like there are parts coming up in this whole exchange where she's saying, "Please, please don't go. Please, please, Mika, please."
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been in a situation like that? Not this exactly, but where you feel so much fear and terror, and the person you're with, like you're just trying to convince him, like, no, don't go in there, don't do that. Like, please, I know what's happening. You know what I mean?
I have been in a situation, not exactly like this,
Sure.
but where that was happening one time. This is so random, but I was driving. I think my brother was helping me bring a couch home, and a car in front of us just slowly like hit the car in front of them and then just started veering off. Like, it was so weird. And my brother stopped the car, got out of the car, and I was yelling for him to not go over there. Cause I'm thinking this person, you just don't know what people are going to do in cars.
Sure,
like people,
yeah.
sometimes crazy shit is happening.
Yeah.
Road rage, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember yelling for him to come back, and I like could not yell loud enough even. And he just was not listening because I was afraid that like whoever just hit this car wants to escape, and my brother's going to be there, and who knows what's going to happen if there's a confrontation. That did not happen at all, thank God. But I immediately thought the worst.
I think the same way. And I think it's that feeling too, that fear of like the person that you're pleading with doesn't understand the gravity of the situation and isn't seeing it through the danger that you're seeing it.
Yeah.
Or they're not seeing the danger that you're seeing, essentially. Right.
My brother is definitely like a first responder mentality where I think he was thinking like,
I gotta
he's
help
gonna
this
go help.
person.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go help. I'm gonna go stop if there's like a medical emergency, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking like something nefarious was going on.
I always jump to that too. And I think it could possibly be where the area that I grew up was not very nice. I think you've talked
Yeah.
about this with me. It's, I think when you grow up in an area where there's a lot of crime and danger is like a real thing, you do tend to have like a survivalist sort of mentality where you're like, no, the worst possible thing could happen because I've seen it and I've witnessed it, and it does happen in real life.
Yeah, I think my mentality was like, I'm not saying we have to leave. We can help, but I need more information before you run up to this car on foot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anywho,
of course. No, dude, I'm with
so
you.
yes, I do know that feeling of fucking terror yelling for someone.
Yeah, and she does a great job conveying it.
She does.
Yeah.
So the footprints, whatever the hell they are, I just imagine like something on its hands because at first I thought they were hands.
Yeah.
The prints lead them to a pantry where there's attic access. This moment.
Did you call it a pantry?
Is it a pantry? Is it a closet?
It's like a hall closet where you like store like your towels and stuff.
Oh, okay.
A pantry's like food, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why I thought pantry, but yeah, it probably is just a closet. But either way, there's attic access. They look up and the fucking like the door
Yeah, the door
is ajar.
Dude.
Okay, this moment I went, it gives you the, at least for me, I thought there's a possibility this is someone fucking with them. There's a person. Like hiding in their attic. Like, isn't there's a term for that when someone lives in your attic and you don't know?
A squatter?
It's not squatter. There's something else. Frogging,
Oh.
I think.
I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna look
But
it up.
I love a movie where someone's living in the walls. Have you ever seen Housebound?
Didn't you say it's one of your biggest fears?
It's one of my biggest fears is like somebody living in your house and you don't know it because they're living in like crawl spaces or they're living in like walls and shit.
It is frogging, but with a PH.
Oh.
Yeah. Living in
Interesting.
someone else's home without their knowledge or permission.
Dude,
Terrifying.
that really scares me. I want to say it was Housebound that I saw that really freaked me out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but it sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, the door is ajar. And of course, Miko wants to look, which I do. Okay, I'm like, okay, you're brave.
I think
Very
he's
brave.
brave, man.
Here, he's very brave.
Yeah.
Katie is the voice of reason. She's saying what the audience is saying.
Yeah.
She's like, do not go up there. You have no idea what's up there. This is where I felt like, okay, I see how beneficial it is to have two characters in a movie that are very contrasting.
Yeah.
Where one can be the voice of reason and one may be doing something the audience thinks is stupid.
Because here's the thing, okay? We can sit here and go, don't go up there, don't go up there, don't go up there. Low key, of course we want him to go up there. Of course we want to know what's in the attic. Of course we do. There's always going to be morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
And we need a character that is going to do that
That's
and
true.
fulfill that for us.
And otherwise, we don't have a movie.
That's right.
So it's a small attic. It's one that's just for insulation. So you're not going to be like walking around up there.
That was like my attic growing up. There
Me
was
too.
It was just, it was just insulation.
Even though I think my mom would still put stuff up there like boxes. I don't know if that's safe, but
I don't know.
I don't know. We also stored things in the what is it? The stove sometimes.
Oh,
you know?
us too. I still do that.
What are you gonna do?
I have all kinds of pans in there.
Oh, my pans are in there.
I never use it, so storage.
I do use my oven. It is a pain in the ass to take them out every time. But like I don't have enough storage for all these pans. I don't live in this mansion.
You use your oven?
Yeah.
I never use my oven.
You have an air fryer.
I do. Yeah, and I never cook. I eat the same thing every single day, and it's not
Yeah.
complicated.
Anywho.
Any hoogly booze?
Yes. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, you're not gonna go walking around up there, but he like peeks his head up there and he sees something in the distance, so he wants to go retrieve it.
Yeah, it's like there's something sticking out of the insulation, and it's definitely in a spot. At first, I thought it was the top of someone's head. It's in a spot that's like, how the F did that get up there?
And nothing else is disturbed on the way there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So he finds a photo burnt around the edges of Katie as a child.
In front of like a house.
Yeah. And she says that there's no way this picture even exists. She thought everything was burned in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
This was her old house. And they realized later it was placed in the attic above where their bedroom is.
Dude, that is so scary. Like finding a picture from your childhood
Yeah.
in a home that you live in now where there's no connection to your childhood
Yeah.
home that burnt down and there's paranormal stuff happening in your house. That is so scary to me.
And it being above the bedroom, like right above where their bed is, I love this so much. It felt unique. I don't know if it's ever occurred in a movie before this. I didn't look into that, but it feels so unique because it's so scary without being something that's obviously scary.
That's
you
what
just
I'm
know it. You just
saying.
know this isn't right.
Dude, that's what I'm saying about this movie. That's
Yeah.
why I don't mind that, like, it's not jump scares at every turn because it doesn't need to be. Your imagination fills in all of the blanks because
Yeah.
we've all been in a situation. We were at home and we heard a noise and it felt like somebody was there, or like, have you ever walked up the stairs and it feels like someone's chasing you up the stairs?
Ugh. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
hate that.
we do that. Our minds do that. Right? And so this whole concept of there's this random photo, I just think it's done so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're staying in that house another night at this
Oh
point.
no, I'd be out.
I would have been out a
Are you
long time
kidding me?
ago.
I'd be out the second something happened.
When the Ouija board caught on fire? What the
Later,
fuck?
later
Even-
days, guys. I'm out. Like, not happening.
But they are basically staying awake all night after that. Like they're drinking coffee.
I also believe all this stuff. So like, I believe in like hauntings and I believe in ghosts and things like that. So like,
You know what really helps not be scared of your house being haunted? Well, depending on your situation, having pets.
yeah, for sure.
Because sometimes I hear a noise and I will see the cats and I'm like, well, they didn't even flinch.
Okay, but what about when the dog just barks up the stairs at nothing?
Mine doesn't do that yet.
Oh, Tobias? Oh my God. Sometimes he'll just stare at a wall and start barking. And I'm like, listen, okay? I don't understand dog, but you need to tell me if I need to leave the house. Like,
Hopefully it's a shadow. Because I will say the cats sometimes they will stare at a corner. They don't bark, but they'll just stare up at the corner. And Dolly's eyes will like shake. Like, it looks so weird.
I feel like they see things that we don't see.
I do too, but I
Yeah.
also just tell myself it's a cobweb or a very tiny insect that I can't see.
Sure, it could be that as well too. I usually
Sure.
just tell I tell the ghosts in my house to like they can live there if they're there. I'm just like, you can stay, but just please just don't fuck with me. Okay?
I've said that too.
Yeah. Like we can all coexist. Just like
Yes.
do me a solid and don't scare me. That's all I ask.
Yeah. What?
On the table.
Oh, fuck. You don't even know how bad that just fucking scared me.
Oh, sorry.
Not again.
Sorry.
Not again.
Sorry, guys. There was an ant. There's a gigantic ant on the table. AK does not like ants. I saw an ant outside the other day while I was like chilling. It was so big. I called it an imposter and I asked what planet it came from. It didn't answer
I'm
me.
still
but
scared. When you just pointed and I had to look over, I'm like, what is going to be next to me? You didn't look scared, but for some reason I was so scared. I'm like, is it Dolly? Then I don't see Dolly. I'm like, what am I supposed to be looking at?
And we're
You're like-
covering paranormal activity.
You're like, there's the entity right there that Dolly looks at in the corner every night.
Oh.
The joys of being in a basement. Anywho, at least it
Mhm.
wasn't a giant centipede. That would have scared me much worse.
True.
Okay.
Back
So-
to the movie, as Joe Bob would say.
Yes. So the next day, Katie's like, okay, you tried your experiments. We are calling Dr. Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Avery doesn't answer, so they call Dr. Fredericks back. Now we're on night 18, October 5th. It is 3:53 a.m. They're sleeping and a light in the hallway turns on. We hear the footsteps again.
Mm-hmm.
Mika gets out of bed, and as he's getting about to walk around the bed, since, he's not sleeping next to the door slams shut. This scared the shit out of me.
No, it scared me so much. And then like, okay, here's where Katie is like begging him to come back to bed. She's
Yeah.
like pleading with him, right? The entity starts rattling the doorknob. It starts banging on the door. He hands Katie the camera. Mika hands Katie the camera and opens the bedroom door. Again, brave. Couldn't
Yeah.
be me. She's super scared at this point. Like she's panting. She's breathing so hard, right?
Mhm.
Mika walks towards the hall closet and looks around the dark hallway, telling the entity to show itself.
Don't do that.
It has weird feet, man. Are you sure you want to see what this looks like? Because I don't. There's no way. After looking at the images in Devils, Demons, and Witchcraft, I'm all set, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what it looks like. No, thank you.
Yeah, and he should know because he has that book.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are you doing? But they don't see anything. They turn to go back into the bedroom, but then their door slams shut. So now the entity has got to be inside the room, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And something's banging against the door.
Mm-hmm.
No.
She convinces Mika to go downstairs with her.
Yeah, she's terrified.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then they're like on the stairway and there are so many noises going on down there too. They just end up going back in the bedroom.
Right. Like he says to her, like, babe, we go downstairs, it's not going to be any different. Like we're still in the house and we know now it's attached to Katie. So even if they leave the house and the psychic tells them this, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Also, Dr. Avery's is like just gone, by the way. I thought that was very strange.
Yeah, he's gone for like 3 days or something.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So even as they're cowering in their bed, it really bothers me still that Katie is the one in front. They're holding each other like this and like Mika's using her as a shield, in my opinion.
I don't think he's using her as a shield, but I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think at any point it was intentional.
I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional, but I would have just handled it differently. That's all. But anyway, it's 4 a.m. now. Of
Mhm.
course, they get no sleep that night.
No.
Now, the next morning, Katie's sitting on the couch. She's wrapped in a blanket. She looks fucked up.
She looks rough, man.
Yeah, she's terrified, exhausted. She doesn't want to be in the house, even though we know it's connected to her and not the house.
Yeah.
They're eating in the kitchen later.
They look so tired. Like
Yeah.
they look like what we look like after being on the road, like having delayed flights, not sleeping, getting home at 8 o'clock in the morning, not having slept for 2 days, not having eaten anything.
That was me on the flight to India,
Oh my gosh.
staring at you like this.
Oh my gosh. When I woke up from my nap and turned around and peeked and saw you just making eye contact with me, I'll never forget it.
It's so funny.
But basically, like they look traumatized, they look scared, they look tired, like sleep deprived, right? Uh and they're kind of like just like sitting there together.
Yeah, they're eating in the kitchen. They end up
Mhm.
hearing a loud bang. They go upstairs, and a picture of them on the wall in the hallway is broken, mostly Mika's face.
Oh yeah, and there are claw marks scratched across the photo, just across Mika's face.
Yeah. Katie says she freezes for a moment, and
Mhm.
she's like, it's here. She feels it breathing on her, and you can even see her hair move.
Oh dude,
It's so creepy.
it's so creepy. She begs them to leave, but he looks around upstairs again.
Mhm.
And at this point, they really should just leave the fucking house, but
Yeah, like, why not just try it?
yeah. And then he even asks her, he's like, has stuff happened during the day before? And she's like, things are definitely getting worse.
Mhm. Yeah, so later Dr. Fredericks comes over. He takes one step inside this house and he's like, whoa. Like he can feel the energy immediately. And he thinks he's making it worse by even being there. So he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah. And he does a good job of like seeming afraid
Yeah.
while trying not to seem afraid.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, Dr. Avery will be back in a few days.
Oh, we'll make sure to get him in touch with you. All right. I think I'm making the situation worse. Gotta get out of here.
Well, see ya. And he also says that by leaving, they won't do any good because it's tied to her and not the house, which we were already talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Which, that sucks.
He does say he's going to work on it and help them, whatever that means, but
Yeah.
yikes.
So now we're on night 18, October 6th. It is 1:33 a.m. and the fucking blanket on their bed, as they're sleeping, of course, starts moving like someone's getting under it.
Yeah, it's really, and like leading into this as well, like Katie is like sobbing in bed and, you
Mhm.
know, Mika's comforting her. And it's just like, you can just feel the exhaustion.
Yeah.
And like the demon knows this. The demon knows that it's antagonizing them and ruining their sleep, which makes them irritable, which makes them argue,
Mhm.
which feeds him, right?
Yep.
So,
So after that happens, we fast forward and then we get to 3:04 a.m.
dude,
The lights turn on in the hallway and then off.
the whall
We-
closet,
Oh, the closet.
because that's where he is, right? In
Oh,
the
yeah,
attic.
Yeah. Then we see a shadow move across their door.
We hear like tapping,
Ugh.
a
Oh.
growl. We hear a low growl.
Yeah, a really loud noise wakes Katie up and she can feel it breathing on her face. So she wakes up Mika. He gets up to look around. I do understand the human logic to want to look.
Sure, yeah.
Even though we know like you can't see it,
Yeah.
but you just, I don't know, maybe you even think, well, my presence might scare it away. I don't know about it with the demon, but you know, like you're just trying to do anything at this point.
For sure, yeah.
And at least here he's trying to protect her.
He is, but he's like, there's nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, something's wrong. The entity is here. I can feel it. I can feel it in here with us.
Yeah. And then in the morning, she says the same thing, that she can feel him watching her right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they watch the footage back and they see everything that happened the night before. And then Mika ends up finding a website made by this lady Diane, or at least about this lady Diane. That's one of the possibilities that he thinks the board was writing, was Diane.
Yeah, because earlier in the film, he had a piece of paper and he was trying to figure out what the demon was trying to spell out on the Ouija board. And he was asking Katie, do you know anybody named Diane? Do you know somebody named this, named that? She's like, I have no idea. But we find out here that whatever happened to Katie also happened to this Diane character in the 1960s, almost exactly to the T. She was 8 years old, her house burned down, et cetera, et cetera. She called an exorcist. And Mika thinks that it might be the same entity and that it jumped from Diane to Katie.
Yeah. And they also find out that she ended up dying.
Yes.
So now Katie.
And Mika thinks that the entity wants them to know about Diane. It wanted them to figure this out. Again, makes me think that it's just messing with them.
Yeah.
Like, this is your fate, bitch. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like just dangling it in their face.
Yeah.
So now Katie and Mika are fighting, of course.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
This is exactly what the demon wants.
Because she's studying and she's very agitated because Mika wants to talk to her about figuring things out with this.
Mhm.
But he's got the camera in her face and she's just really hot about it.
Yeah, she wants the camera out of her face. She wants to be left alone. Mika is like, I'm just trying to solve the problem, but he is definitely being a disrespectful dick about it. Like
Sure.
he gets really irritated She's really irritated.
Yeah.
She goes upstairs and he says something like, have fun with your friend up there. Like,
Well, he also blames her. He says, I didn't bring this into the house.
yeah.
And to be fair, again, he unknowingly moved in with someone who has a demon attached to them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she knew it was a demon, but she did know that there was something going on
Yeah.
and did not tell him. And I still think that is like
Yeah.
very messed up.
Oh, that would have been a deal breaker for me too.
Oh, done. 100%. But we cut to Katie in the hallway on the floor sobbing.
Mhm.
And it's so sad. And, he tells her, like, you haven't done anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. And the argument they have is very believable.
Mhm.
It's a very believable argument.
Yeah.
People say dumb shit when they're mad at each other.
Yeah. And especially when tensions are so high.
Yeah. And lack of sleep.
And your life is on the line.
Dude, lack of sleep will fuck
Yeah.
you up. My gosh. Yeah.
Now, night 20 is crazy.
Oh, this is when shit gets real crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's October 7th, 4:31 a.m. Katie gets dragged out of bed by her foot, like out of bed, out of the room, door slammed shut. She's screaming for Mika as this is happening.
Yes. And I thought this was really neat when I was reading interviews and listening to podcasts and all this with Oren. He talks about how he executed the effects here,
Mhm.
which is interesting because for a long time, I don't think he didn't say how they did anything.
Okay.
So now I think he's being a little bit more open about it, but he was saying that he tested it with like a teddy bear. And I want to say his girlfriend was the one that was like behind the door and that slammed it. And there was a very, very thin like wire that was
Mhm.
pulled her off the bed. But this is one of the reasons why he switched to hardwood floors, because if it was carpeted, they weren't going to be able to get an effect like that, especially with the sounds and all of
Yeah.
that. So I love that most of this is DIY, and he did go in post-production, obviously, with some CG. Like you see the shadow passing the door, things like this. Like
Yeah.
some things were CG, but for the most part, they had to come up with these creative ways to get the effect without the cost that usually comes with practical effects.
Yeah. I'm still really impressed with that dragging her out of the bed effect.
It's
because,
done so well.
Yeah. Even
She wanted to get pulled all the way down the stairs. Yeah, she was so game for it.
were they
And,
wooden stairs, like not carpeted?
and Oren was like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
There's something could happen to you.
Now carpeted, I would do.
Sure.
That'd be easier.
Right.
Not carpeted floor. I get that, but the carpeted stairs would be easier. But yeah, I don't know, like a thin string pulling her by the leg out of the bed. That's still like difficult to execute.
Yeah. And I love that he was explaining that. I tried it with a big teddy bear.
I know. I'm like, that's a little different than a human, but okay.
And the fact that Katie was just like game to do that tells you that they obviously had, they believed in the project.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
So Mika does get up. He follows her out of the room. He brings her back into the room. They're on the floor. They're hugging. They're crying.
Oh, it's scary, man. She's screaming for him.
Yeah. And Katie at this point is just.
And you can see him tugging at
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Like whatever it is, has her.
Yeah, like tug of war with Katie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
With a demon. I mean, I'm best friends with a demon, and I can't imagine playing tug of war with her.
I'm surprised that he even won that tug of war, to be honest. But
Yeah.
maybe he's just fucking with him. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, for sure.
Why don't you just take her back for now? But yeah, they're on the floor hugging and crying, and Katie is begging Mika to just leave.
Yeah.
And finally, he's like, okay, I'll get us a hotel. We're not staying here tonight. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Even though he's telling you it's not going to help, at this point, you don't really have any other options. At least try it. What if he's wrong?
Yeah. Oh, the psychic, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so later, or maybe it's the next day. I'm not sure if it might be the next morning or like later. But Mika lifts up Katie's shirt and basically says, like, let's, show the camera what happened. There's like a gnarly bite mark on her back.
Mhm.
It's like all red and you can clearly see like teeth marks. This is where they needed the makeup artist.
Yeah.
Oren said he was not good at this. He could not get it.
The teeth marks look like tiny holes too. Like they're like needles.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Really, really gross. It's a great effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut to Mika asking Katie if she's ready to go. She looks almost catatonic here.
Yeah.
She's sitting on the ground. She's holding a crucifix. She's bleeding on her legs. I don't know if she was like stabbing herself in the leg.
No, she was holding the crucifix so hard that her hand was bleeding.
Onto her leg. Got it.
Dude, like,
Yeah, she
and
was squeezing it so hard.
this is where Mika really switches gears and he gets very upset.
Mm-hmm.
He's
He's
like,
had it.
oh, he's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm sick of it. Because at this, I mean, imagine finding that is some exorcist shit.
It is. That's why I was like, is she stabbing herself? Hopefully not in the same spot. But
And with Oren being so scared of The Exorcist, I wouldn't be surprised if that was, there was a little of inspiration there.
oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Mika has had enough. He takes that crucifix, he throws it into the fireplace, which I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea either.
Yeah, I don't think you should be burning a cross.
That might be helping her. What if it is? I don't know. But
It felt very much like Reagan and the crucifix situation.
that's why I said I hope she didn't stab herself in the same spot.
Yikes.
So Katie now is sleeping in bed. Mika goes to get her. Now Katie says she doesn't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts saying, it's better if we stay. Please stay with me.
And it's almost like she sounds different. She sounds lighter, but she also sounds very tired.
I know. I made it sound like she was like, come play with us. It wasn't quite like that.
It was more of like she's assuring him, like, maybe it's better if we stay. I think we should stay. Just trust me on this. I really think we should stay. And it just comes across like, yeah, it's a little weird, but also the whole situation's weird. And he's frustrated, but he's going to do whatever she wants to do, right? So
And-
he kind of like storms off, and then
Yeah.
she very quietly has this like little tiny smile and says, I think we'll be okay now. And her voice kind of changes a little bit. There's like a little bit of a, how would you say it? It's like,
There's just a very subtle difference.
yeah.
And I think for me, the smirk, the slow smirk, and it's barely a smirk. You can just barely see it where you're like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if she was talking to the entity here or if the entity was talking like almost for her.
Oh, she's possessed.
Yeah.
Oh, she's already possessed here.
Yeah.
100% she's possessed.
So night 21, October 8th, 2006. It's 1:27 a.m. Katie sits up, just straight up in bed. Like, didn't she sit up like Undertaker style?
She sits up and her body language is very different.
Yeah.
Like even when she gets out of the bed, there's almost like a slithering
Ugh.
motion. Her body contorts a little bit. It's a little robotic. It almost seems like a person like trying to look like it is human, but isn't.
Yep. Very uncanny. She stands at the edge of the bed again. The covers slowly get pulled off Mika. Katie walks over to his side of the bed and then she stands there as it fast forwards for almost 2 hours again.
Yeah.
Then she just leaves the room. And then out of nowhere, there's like a silence and you're just waiting. What the fuck is about to happen? And then suddenly she has a blood curdling scream yelling for Mika.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately jumps out of bed, runs out of the room.
He does not grab the camera here.
No.
Just runs to her.
So we're still getting that shot of the room. We don't see anything, but they're both screaming, both of them at the top of their lungs, and then silence.
Yeah.
And we're only seeing their empty bedroom and we're just sitting there in silence.
He definitely sounds like he gets taken out.
You hear like, ugh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hear footsteps.
Like heavy footsteps.
Very heavy now. Coming up the stairs again, very slowly. We sit in silence for a few seconds and you're just waiting. Like, what is going to happen? You're like, I know something's going to happen, but it's still going to scare you because you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Mika's body comes flying into the room and hits the camera. Now the camera's crooked, but we're still seeing sort of like part of his body and then the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Mika's laying on the floor face down. Katie is standing in the doorway.
Dude, when she kneels down next to him, the way that her body like moves, she smells him
Like an animal.
it's very animalistic. Yeah.
She has blood all over her, all over her shirt.
It's very much heavily in her midsection.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder what was happening.
Yeah, I thought maybe from carrying him up the stairs. Like holding him like this.
Yeah.
Because now she has demon strength.
Yeah.
Then she notices a camera. She comes closer to the camera.
Mhm.
She smirks. Ew. Hate a smirk. Then her face distorts, changes as it like comes in at the camera like a jump scare.
Yeah, like a jump scare. Yeah, she like devours the camera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then like she ate it. You think she ate it?
I think she ate it.
No.
Maybe not, but looks like it.
Either way, she comes in. It's scary. It's like that's like I would say the biggest jump scare of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Is Mika's body and then her. And then we see the title card that tells us that Mika's body was found by police on October 11th. So that's 3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's whereabouts remain unknown.
Yes.
The end.
The end. I love Paranormal Activity.
It's so scary. Okay, you already know the rabbit holes I like to go down, which is watching an entire franchise. So I watched all 7 Paranormal Activity movies. Wow. And I was surprised for some reason. I don't know why. Similar to Saw, even though I watched all the Saws as they came out,
Mhm.
I was surprised with Paranormal Activity that they all link to the first one.
Mm.
Even when they start to go off in different storylines,
Yeah.
they do all go back to the lore of the very first movie. And for some reason, I thought it was going to be like more of an anthology, and I don't know why.
Well, I mean, did you watch them all when they came out?
No, I
Ooh.
know I saw clips.
Yeah.
I mean, it was parodied so many times, very similar to Blair Witch, right? But
Uh-huh.
I definitely didn't see it in theaters. I might have seen it like a few years after, something like that. And I
Yeah.
think I saw it in pieces. So this was the first time I remember sitting down and watching it in its entirety.
And did you like it?
I did.
It's
Yeah.
so good,
And
right?
I not only liked the first movie, I was just very pleasantly surprised with the rest of the franchise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the first three. I like 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Past that, I've seen them, but I don't like them as much as like the first 3.
Okay.
The first one is definitely my favorite. Do you want to hear some like little tidbits?
Of course I do.
So the shoot lasted 7 days. Okay, which is not a lot for a
Yeah.
film. And I think I told you this earlier that the crew consisted of Oren, his best friend Amir, and his girlfriend at the time. And they did hire a makeup artist.
Mhm.
It took Oren about a year to finish in post production. He edited the film on Sony Vegas. So the fact that he edited the film himself is wild to me.
Yeah.
There was like a list of working titles on a chalkboard, and everybody was kind of submitting, like writing what names that they were thinking of,
Mhm.
but nothing was really sticking. So in the end, they went with Paranormal Activity, and Oren's quoted as saying, "Paranormal Activity wasn't even one that we were all crazy about, but it didn't suck, and it's dry and accurate." He also submitted Paranormal Activity to a ton of film festivals, okay? He tried to submit it to everywhere, including Toronto Film Festival. Nobody would take it except for Screamfest.
Okay.
So it debuted at Screamfest 2007. And in preparation for Screamfest, I fucking love this shit. In preparation for Screamfest, Oren stood on street corners handing out flyers
Okay.
to
Old
like
school.
promote it. Yes, old school, right? He went on horror like message boards back in the day, right? In the
Message boards.
in the early 2000s, right? And websites to tell them about the screening.
Mhm.
Okay. He also created a very simple trailer and website similar to the Blair Witch. The screening was incredible, right? The audience reacted by covering their eyes, screaming, shifting in their seats. Some people left. And Oren talks about realizing what that kind of reaction that the film had, that it could potentially be seen on a much larger scale and be very successful on a larger scale, right?
He was right.
He was absolutely right. And the film won a few awards, which then got attention from CAA, which is like a huge agency. And CAA sent out DVDs of the film, and eventually it got in the hands of Jason Blum of Blumhouse, and the film was eventually picked up by DreamWorks. The fact that this is a $15,000 budget film, the fact that it had a crew of 3 people, I want to say 5 cast total. There's a few people that were in the film that they didn't make the final cut.
Okay.
I think scenes that maybe they just didn't use. But this was a very, like, I'm talking micro budget. The fact that it grossed $194 million is so inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Like, Oren Peli, like, deciding one day that he's going to make a movie, and not just like, I'm going to make a movie and I know everything about it. Knowing I'm going to make a movie and I know nothing about this, so I'm going to learn everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
It is so inspiring to me.
Yeah.
I really enjoy listening to Katie, that interview that I told you about. I will link it in the show notes. It just sounded like a labor of love.
Yeah.
They all came together to create this really magical film, right?
Yeah, I think that's a common theme with a lot of the especially low budget movies that we cover is they are a labor of love, a passion project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to believe in what you're making.
Yeah.
Like wholeheartedly. And the thing about the creative process is there's so many times where you're just going, this is not working. This is stupid. This is, I don't know what I'm doing. Does this make any sense? And to be able to push through that and create something, I just think is like very special.
I agree.
I read an interview with Oren Peli. I will link it in the show notes. It's with filmmaker and author Chris Jones. And I just want to quote what Chris Jones says about Paranormal Activity. So, quote, "In many ways, it is a masterclass in no budget filmmaking. Consider 1, it used the cheapest technology available. 2, the location was the director's house. We never left the home in the entire film. 3, there were only 2 main characters who were in pretty much every single scene. 4, there were 2 supporting characters who were in 2 scenes each. That's a total of cast of 4.
Mhm.
Okay. Number 5, the budget, technology, and concept were not stretched or over ambitious, allowing the film to deliver on the concept. 6, it knew what it was, a creepy horror movie, and it never veered off that course. 7, it never over explained the concept. And 8, the sound design was excellent and authentic feeling. And when I read that, I was just like, I'm saving this entire thing right here. And I did. I saved it and I printed it and now it's on my fridge.
Hell yeah.
It's just so inspiring to me.
Yeah.
And just a couple of like little random facts about found footage and the origins of found footage. Now, we talked a little bit about the Legend of Boggy Creek in Blair Witch.
Yep.
We also talked about Ghost Watch earlier. If you have not seen Ghost Watch, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a mockumentary broadcasted on the BBC. It was hosted by Michael Parkinson, who was a host on the BBC of like, he was a real journalist, a real news broadcaster, and he is the host of this movie. And it's like a paranormal investigation. It feels very real.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. So that was one of the inspirations for this film. But the origins of found footage, a lot of people say stem from the War of the Worlds radio broadcast on Halloween in 1938. It was directed and narrated by Orson Welles. He was Kane in Citizen Kane.
Mhm.
In Citizen Kane? Yeah, 1941. I listened to it. It's very immersive. It feels very real. And a lot of people say that that is kind of the originator of found footage.
Okay.
There's also a movie called Cannibal Holocaust. It's an Italian film from 1980. I will not watch it personally. It depicts extreme acts of animal cruelty.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with the director. There's a really great found footage documentary on Shudder. I'll link it in the show notes. And he talks about making the film and the choices that he made. And I just cannot stand by animal cruelty in the name of art. I think that's very fucked up. But it was also, the movie Cannibal Holocaust is also integral in the origins of found footage. So I felt like it's important that I mention it.
Yeah. I think one of the Blair Witch interviews we listened to, the directors were also talking about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know I mentioned before that there are no closing credits in this movie, which made it feel even more real, even more like a documentary, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
However, I thought it was really cool that the DVD and Blu-ray that was released, they featured an extensive list of thousands of fans who successfully petitioned to get the movie into their local theaters.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's
love that
really,
too.
really cool. I love that. I love this movie. I love a DIY project. And I just think it's like so freaking inspiring. And it's good.
Yeah, and this is a fun franchise to get into. If you like watching franchises, if you like binging, I would say get into this one because you get so much more lore as the movies go on. It doesn't feel repetitive, at least it didn't to me.
Mm-mm.
Each one gives you deeper lore, and then even as the story changes a little bit, it's just giving you something different. So it's fun.
Yeah, for sure. And Oren was a little bit involved with part 2, but in the interviews that I've seen and what he's talked about, basically like it was a one and done for him. Like he kind of struck gold with the first one and then he kind of stepped out of Hollywood. I think he did a mini series called The River, but he hasn't done much since then. And it's simply because he is living his life. He has kids, a family, and he really doesn't need to make any more films. And he does talk about the frustrating part of filmmaking when like studios are involved and all these hands are in it and they want to do all these things. There were definitely different endings to this film. There was one ending where Katie is shot multiple times and killed by police. Yeah. They went with something different.
Okay.
So there were different endings, things like that. But Oren just talks about, once all these hands get in, it just really starts to not become fun.
Yeah.
Right. So
we know how that is.
we know how that is. Yeah.
Not quite in filmmaking, but
yeah, exactly. So for him, it was like one and done. I made this movie and I guess they built off of that, right? Like the lore and all the sequels and all of that. But it was his creation. And I think that's very freaking cool. And I think Mika and Katie are just fantastic in it. And I don't know. I just sing the praises because I just love it so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know what you thought of the movie, of the episode. If you would be so kind, leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening or watching. That helps the podcast so much. Also, I want to mention that you should come see us at Triangle Terracon in Durham, North Carolina on September 26th.
Yeah.
Not only are we going to be signing as the Chainsaw Girls, we're also hosting a panel with Nathan Basil from
Behind the Mask. I'm so excited. Oh my God. I can't wait. It's
I
gonna be
cannot
so fun.
wait.
We had so much fun with him at the Buffalo Horror Garage sale.
He is a fucking gem. We cannot state that enough.
Dude, you guys, I straight up asked him what his acting process was. What? Laura Grace, don't ever ask somebody that ever again. I'm so horrified. But I was just like, I need to ask him because I think he's brilliant.
And he was so gracious.
Oh, he was amazing. He was amazing. Yeah.
Come see us. Come hang out. It's going to be so much fun. And also, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, if you're not already, at Chainsaw Girls Pod.
Heck yeah.
And we also have a Gmail, chainsawgirlspod@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon. And every episode, we shout out our top tier patrons. Do you want to take it away?
I got it. We've got Jeremy. We have John M. David G. Another John M. We have Jonathan. We have Rob V. We have David T. Heather D. Franchise Driller, aka Ryan. We've got Millie C. Chris S. Alexis T. Adam BL and James C. Thank you so much for being our top tier patrons. We appreciate you to the moon and back.
Okay, bye.